In cycling, it's all about pushing the boundaries of how far you can struggle. To struggle up hills, to struggle along the flats, training whatever the weather. With every pedal stroke, your heart gets stronger. It's the struggle that you crave. It's the struggle that you ride for. But at the end of the day, the only person you're battling is yourself. Welcome back to Take That Step, and this is cycling. I've been into cycling basically all my life, I'd say, just because when I was younger, we used to live in the countryside and my parents would never actually drive us anywhere, so it was more of a kind of mode of transport for me for the majority of my life. Just getting to school, getting back from school, or like going to see my mates. I actually really enjoyed it as well, just because it was so nice, like being outside and out in the countryside in particular, like just bombing around all the little lanes, and it's nice to kind of be able to do that whilst also being outside and kind of seeing loads of like what's around me and like what's in the countryside that you wouldn't see otherwise. I think when I was about 11 or so, then we cycled across the UK, so from like Carlisle over to Newcastle. And then when I was a bit older, when I was like 13 or 14, then we cycled from London to Paris as a family. And I think that just kind of, the aspects of like adventure, of like seeing new things, like cycling through France with my family, like with all the stuff that we needed in like bags on the bikes, like it was so much fun, just like felt like I was a little explorer, just like finding new lands and stuff. Alright guys. My name's Bradley Wiggins. Welcome to Take That Step, and this is cycling.
We're following our track star over there, Bradley Schwiggins.
I think cycling has taken me all over the place, to be honest. Like obviously I mentioned I went to France when I was younger, but like I got into it a lot more over lockdown. So over the first lockdown I was back at home in Shropshire, and I was with my older sister, and we'd go out cycling, and I didn't have like a map or anything on my bike, like a little kind of sat-navy thing. So I'd just write all the village names like down my arm, and I'd be bombing around all these villages, and it'd be really good fun. Because I kind of then found that love for cycling again, I got so much more into it over the past few years. So like this summer just gone, so between my 4th and my 5th year here at uni, then I cycled like Land's End to Johnny Groats. That was like amazing, just being able to see kind of all the different areas of the UK and just kind of take my time over it. So I did it with my brother again, and like we just cycled over, I think it was like 12 or 13 days, like just going along all the roads from Cornwall up to the top of Scotland.
He actually does some silly bike rides, so he's got one coming up soon. In one day he's going to do 350 kilometers from Manchester to London. I think it's to London, something like that. 350 kilometers in a day. I did in summer in Wales, I did a 80 kilometer bike ride in a day and I nearly died. So
and then last Sunday, so Sunday just gone, I actually did like a charity ride for children with autism, kind of support for children with autism, which is another nice thing about cycling. It's quite a good way to raise money for charities and things. Like if you're interested in doing that, it's really impressive, like doing a long bike ride, and people like to donate money for like really good causes. So it was from Manchester to London in one day. So it was 360 kilometers or 220 miles, which is where this badge is from. So you can see it says 220 on it for the 220 miles. And that was the longest bike ride that I've ever done in one day. Me and a couple of the other people from the uni cycling club did it in about, I think it was 15 including stops, but 13 just hours on the bike. So it was a long old shift, but yeah, it was really good fun. And again, just kind of like going out with your mates, like having a fun time. You don't have to go quick, like you can go out and have such a nice time just putting along next to your mates, just chatting along. We had so much banter like on that bike ride, just messing around, stopping in hedges, like flopping on the side of the road. Like it's something that I'll remember forever, so it's really nice.
So I think it's kind of like his way of just dealing with everything. Like, oh, he's had a stressful day on placement, boom, get outside, get the pistons whirring, do a cheeky 50-kilometer bike ride. I think it does him really well mentally. Like, it just come back and he'll be like completely fine. So yeah, it's the way he copes with things, which is like really useful. And you never know, it might be one of your followers' ways in the future.
And then in Liverpool, I've done like a few events in Liverpool as well. So I did something called the Red Bull time lapse. So it's all across the UK. Everyone can get involved with it, and you basically just need a team of 4 people. So it's quite inclusive. It's on the day when the hour goes forwards or backwards even in October. So you cycle as a team of 4 as far as you can in those 25 hours. So you cycle, say, all through the night and everything, but obviously you split it into shifts. We actually did it round Sefton Park in Liverpool, and we went round and it rained literally the whole time. So I was cycling round Sefton at about 3 in the morning and was numb, like I couldn't feel my legs or my face, but I was still having a cracking time. So yeah, that was a really good experience, even if it was cold and wet.
This car coming quite quickly. That was so quick.
We're on Car Lane, which is in Hale, which is like a little village outside Liverpool. It's a cracking way to get outside. You can see we've got a sweet day today, and it was banging just to see like different bits of Liverpool that weren't the city for once. So it's a cracking way to like explore all the area that you wouldn't go around normally. Like, there's loads of canals and stuff in Lancashire that I would never have seen otherwise. It's basically like Venice, honestly. But yeah, it's a nice way to get outside and like explore new areas, and you get a cracking tan. I think cycling is a good sport to kind of try and get yourself out there and get involved in. It's quite like easily accessible. Like, the roads are free, you don't have to pay for them. So like, you can get yourself a bike, and I mean, it doesn't have to be a good bike. It's like with any sport, you can spend however much you want on it, but as long as it's got 2 wheels and you can pedal it without going backwards, then you're gonna be able to go outside and like go and use the roads and go out cycling. So I think my first point I would say is it's quite easily accessible. You can go out like whatever time you want. You don't have to like kind of book it or anything like that. You can literally go out before you go to work, after you come back from placement. You can even go out in the middle of the night if you want to go and cycle around Sefton in the dark. Don't know why you'd want to do that. Why do I cycle? To be honest, I cycle because I just like being faster than all my mates. So as soon as someone does something quicker than me, I'm like, right, well, now I've got to go and beat them. In particular, one of my mates, it's called Lewis. He always goes out and gets like the fastest time on like certain bits of road, so you can't be having any of that. So then I just go and do it quicker than him. As you can tell, I'm not competitive at all. I think it's quite a good way to like meet new people and like make new friends and stuff as well. So I joined the cycling club, the uni cycling club, and I've made like loads of mates that I'll speak to for years to come, because they've got so like similar interests as I have, and like they're like, I'm so happy when I'm out cycling just chatting to them, or just like riding along next to them, just having loads of like banter that we've obviously like made up over the past few years or so. And it's a really good fun like way to meet people, but then like also you can then go away on like cycling, like you go away cycling with them elsewhere. Like I went to North Wales with the cycling club a couple of weeks ago as well, because the uni have a hut in North Wales. It was literally a free weekend, apart from like food or whatever, in North Wales, where you got to go up like all these mountains, like go and see like such nice scenery, and like obviously you're meeting new people there as well. So I think that's a really good thing about it.
He's always been a horrible bloke, but he's been cycling for about 3 years. We've actually come along this road a few days ago. One of my friends was up and we went on a big cycle, 50 kilometres. It was fun, to be fair. He is really good though, which is a shame. He has actually inspired me to get into cycling. I quite like the fact that it's pretty sociable. So we had like, what was it, like 4 or 5 of us the other day? Went for a bit of a cycle. It was quite a chill one. We had a good natter. So it's nice to get out as well, and it's free as long as you got a bike.
That is a big plus point, to be fair. The fact that it's free, like once you've got a bike, like you don't need any fancy Leica or anything. As long as you've got a little skid lid and a bike, like, you're sorted. You can just go out wherever you want. Like, cycling is one of those sports that, like, when you go out cycling, you don't really feel it as much as other sports. Like, because you're not like sprinting and then stopping and then starting and stopping, or like you don't have loads of impact like running. Like, it's kind of just like a constant ticking over when you're pedaling along. So I feel like you're usually quite fresh the next day. So I think it's pretty good, and also like it's nice to like use it as a recovery thing for other sports too.
It's not expensive to get a bike. Facebook Marketplace is good for that, or just nick one from your parents or something. Yeah, there is a lot of nice countryside around here. Like, it is a slight ball ache to get out of Liverpool, but once you're out, it's really nice, isn't it? You can push yourself as hard as you want, or take it as chill as you want, in the nice sunshine, and it's better than just sitting inside on your screen all day, which, you know, everyone can fall into.
It's nice to like get outside. Just following on from what Josh said, it's nice to get outside, but like I always found that like being in placement all day, or like being like revising, like particularly this time of year, all I want to do is get outside and kind of get a bit of fresh air in. So it's so much nicer to, like, even if you just got like 20 minutes, half an hour, you could be back there in an hour and a half. Like, that's so much more worthwhile than like just sitting on your phone for an hour. Like, it's so nice to like just kind of appreciate what's around you a bit more.
Did we leave No. And I think what he said in his video earlier about being faster than everyone else, I think that's what spurs him on the most, because he's like, there's these things on Strava called KOM, which are like, basically, if you get a KOM at a certain point, it means you're the quickest that's ever cycled along that road on Strava, and he loves collecting them. So he'll be like, oh, today I'm going to go and get a few KOMs, and then he'll come back and be like, oh, previous KOM was only like 32 kilometers an hour and I smashed it at like 3,000 kilometers an hour. So yeah, it's nice how into it he gets. But yeah,
so like get yourself like off the sofa and go and like enjoy the fresh air, and go and enjoy outside. Something that I particularly kind of find when I'm cycling, particularly when I'm out by myself, is like I really like finding that like threshold point, finding the struggle, and just going as far as I can beyond it. Just going as fast as I can, because that's what I like doing. That's what it's all about. That's what you end up craving. You end up craving the ability to go faster, the ability to kind of go faster than your mates as well, or even racing cars as well. That's always good fun. You're only going to get better the more you do it. It's like with anything. Like, the more you practice at it, the more you go out on your bike, the quicker you're going to get, the further you're going to be able to go. Like, just go out there and smash it, honestly. I think cycling also helps with your confidence as well, because you're out on the roads, like you're out kind of in close proximity to cars and like other road users, like pedestrians or whatever as well, and you have got to kind of keep your wits about you. So I think it does help with your confidence, and kind of also just having a whole day out by yourself and then being able to come back home and find your way around. I think that's always good, like as a bit of exploring of the area around you, but also like exploring yourself and being by yourself for a little bit. Just remember, if you do get into cycling, if you do go outside, don't forget to put your helmet on. Maybe even a pair of snazzy sunnies as well, because that's what everyone likes, a nice sexy looking cyclist.
Thanks to Joe Parker for showcasing cycling for Take That Step, and thanks to Josh as well. This one's a good one actually. I do champion this one. I've filmed a lot of sports. This is one I feel like people should take up. So please go out, take that step. And if you do find new routes, find new places, wherever you are in the country, send a photo of a cycle route you've taken and send it to us, and then we'll be happy to see it. But thank you, Joe, for your help.
Cheers, Bilal. Appreciate it. I hope you go out and try cycling, because it is really, really good. I've got so much from it, like throughout my whole life, but also especially throughout the past few years that I've been doing it more often. If you do try it, be confident with yourself, like go out on your bike and just keep pushing out, and you'll get better, even if you do find it harder to begin with. So yeah, go out there, go and take that step, and you're going to be better off for it. I hope you enjoyed watching this video all about cycling. I hope you're more knowledgeable because of it, and obviously I hope you go and try cycling. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you've got any questions about like bits, anything bike related, just shoot me a line, sling me a message, ding me an Instagram. yeah, do whatever you like. If you've got any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Thanks for watching, guys, much appreciated.